guys, so I want to talk about what it's like to be chronically ill. So having something that's chronic means that you've had it for more than 4 months and it either keeps coming back or hasn't really gone away in general. So I have a few different chronic illnesses. I have chronic migraines, I have thyroid disease, I have a heart condition, and I have chronic depression. So that's a lot. And I sometimes don't really know how to explain to people what I'm feeling and how I'm feeling, and it's so frustrating trying to explain to them, not because they don't understand, because I don't know how to word it. And a lot of people don't know how to word it. They don't know how to talk to their loved ones about what's going on, or like trying to explain to someone what it's like being chronically ill. I can't express how frustrating it is when someone kind of bypasses what you're feeling and says like, oh, you just have a headache, or you're just sad, like you're just a sad person, or what have you. Having these many chronic illnesses, I've really struggled. I've struggled trying to understand why it's happened to me and why I have to have so many. But I just want to explain to everyone who doesn't have a chronic illness that the pain that people that do, it's real. It's not just in their head. It's not something they're saying just to get attention. Believe me, they don't want attention. It's so beyond frustrating. Like, imagine being sick and in pain for 5 years straight. It is so hard to deal with. I don't think I really fully understood it until I did some serious research on it, because I was feeling all these things, and I understood that I was sick. I understood that I had a bunch of health problems, but I don't think I really understood why I was just so blech all the time, besides those and everything, and why I felt so alone, and why I feel like people didn't understand what I was going through. Someone who is chronically ill, it's not easy for them to just get up and do things. It's not easy for them to get out of bed. A lot of days I can't get out of bed. I have trouble getting out of bed. I have trouble getting up the energy to do something. I sleep a lot, and it's because I'm constantly in pain, and when I'm asleep I don't feel pain. Plus I'm constantly tired because of my heart condition, and because of my migraines and what have you. It's not fair to downplay someone's pain. So I understand a lot of people don't understand what it's like to be chronically ill, but still, you don't know what that person is going through. You don't know what pain they're feeling, if it's just a headache or if it's chronic migraine. It's been so frustrating trying to explain this to people. I barely know, oh, I have a migraine, and they'll be like, yeah, I've had headaches too. It's not a headache. It's not. It's so much worse than a headache. But it's very frustrating because people don't take you seriously. They're like, oh, they just complain a lot. They have a lot of problems, whatever. If I could, I wouldn't have these many problems. I don't want these many problems. I don't want a heart condition that makes me pass out every time I stand up. I don't want a thyroid condition that makes me not be able to swallow or talk some days or control my emotions at all. I don't want chronic depression where I'm constantly sad and I feel worthless. I don't. It's not something I want. It's not when someone's chronically ill, it's not something they want. It's something they have no choice but to deal with. And a lot of times they won't talk about it because a lot of people don't understand. And I can't even begin to express how frustrating that is. There's probably more people around you than you know that are chronically ill, and they just don't talk about it because they know that no one's going to understand. So that being said, I feel like you should really try and understand what someone is going through when they say something oh gosh, I feel so dizzy when I stand up. It's yeah, you just stood up too fast. It's you don't know that. It is so frustrating having being constantly sick and constantly just not have energy. You can't get up, you can't do anything. You don't want to go out, you don't want to do something because you really just don't have the energy. It's really not fair. Like, I wish I could be normal. I'm not. I've become okay with that. After, years, sometimes I'm still like sad and wondering why, I have to be sick all the time. And it's so frustrating. They're like, oh, well, you get to choose your attitude. You get to choose how you feel. You should just be happy. It's not that easy. It's really not. So that's just something that was kind of like on my mind. I kind of wanted to just express how frustrating it is when people just don't try to understand, what you're going through. And they're like, oh, you just have a headache, like this, that, you're just sad today. It's like, it's not just that, it's constant, and a lot of people just don't understand. I just wanted to try to like show a little light on the subject and kind of inform you guys on what it's like. You guys that aren't chronically ill and what have you. Yeah. I don't know how to end this. So here's pictures of my dogs. Hi, Bubby. Thanks for listening, guys. If you have any questions, message me. Love you.